Everybody, we are here with writer-director Andrew De Burgh, and he has a new movie coming out soon called The Seductress from Hell. Andrew, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, Norm. How are you? Thanks for having me
I'm
on as well.
no, it's my pleasure. So can you tell us about the film?
Yeah, so it's a feature film. I kind of grew up on a lot of horror movies like Nightmare on Elm Street, The Omen, Exorcist, Halloween, Hellraiser's another one that was a huge inspiration for this. So that was kind of like those were the inspirations behind this film. And having been in the entertainment industry for over 10 years, like that was a huge part of the film because it's about a struggling actress who things go wrong for her, like her husband's abusive, she doesn't get jobs, and then she kind of just snaps one day and becomes this like villain.
Mm.
Um,
So first of all, excellent childhood. Um, Similar. Uh, so who's in the film?
so we have a lot of great actors. So Jason Faunt, who's a famous Power Ranger, he's the lead. He plays the husband of Zara Pereira, who's the lead, the other female lead. And she's played by Rocio Scotta, who's a newcomer, very talented actress. And then we also have James Hyde, who's a famous daytime star, Andy Lauer, who is in Screamers, Raj Jawa, who's one of the supporting roles, Kylie, and a lot of great actors are in this film. So I was very lucky it all worked out the way it did.
Excellent. Sounds promising, definitely. So this is not something that's come out yet. I haven't seen it yet. You just finished filming. Right?
Yeah, so we finished filming like 6 weeks ago. So right now, like we're probably 40% through post-production. Um, so we're almost picture locked, and like the composer's been doing a lot of music as well, but we have to do sound design and coloring. Um,
Excellent. So can you explain kind of the process of filmmaking? For those who don't know, you've finished all of the filming. Now you're in post. So what's involved in post?
so post is pretty much just getting the right cut. Like I've been working a lot with the editor and kind of making it a streamlined cut. We're trying to target like an hour and 40 runtime. Because a lot of those horror films like Halloween and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they were kind of like an hour and 26, an hour and 30. So I want to have it be pretty lean. So we did cut a lot of like art house scenes out of the film. And it's basically just kind of implementing my vision with music. I'm working with a very good composer who I've worked with for almost 10 years as a filmmaker. He's genius. And so yeah, a lot of my time is actually with him, kind of saying, okay, I'd like this music to be in that scene, and the volume shouldn't be that much. And that's something I tell the sound designer. And then the colorist, we have to sit together soon in a couple of weeks once we picture lock and kind of go over the coloring that I want. We were lucky we shot on an Arri Alexa 35, which is the most expensive digital camera in Hollywood. So it looks amazing. I had a really good cinematographer, Coy, who I've worked with before. And yeah, it's pretty much just like the final touches of the film, kind of shaping it, sort of the vision that I really see this film being in.
You mentioned the composer. Who are they, and what? Why is it so amazing working with this person with 10 years behind you guys?
Yeah, so his name's Scott Holmes. That's his real name. He goes by Elizade. That's his artist name. He's a pretty renowned synthwave composer, but he also does like other genres. So for this movie, he's doing jazz, he's doing piano, he's doing trance, he's doing horror music, kind of like a Halloween. That's kind of our theme song is inspired a lot by Exorcist and Halloween. So that's kind of his approach with that. But he's also doing different genres. I mean, I've worked with different composers over the years, and his range is and his talent and his work ethic is unbelievable. He did my TV show that I shot last year, and he also did my first short film, Just One Drink, which actually starred Barbara Nedachikova, who was in Hostel. So that was like a horror thriller short film that did really well.
Oh, awesome! I'd love to see it actually. Um,
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Send it
Um,
to me. I'd love to take
it's
a
not
look.
as good as my later work because it was the first thing I did, but
Well,
hopefully, yeah,
that's kind of how filmmaking is and art in
yeah,
general. Uh,
totally, yeah. You improve as you get older.
yeah. So let's talk about filming and how long that took. When did you guys start shooting?
So we started shooting like early, what are we now? So early October, and it was 3 weeks. So yeah, it was very intense, as all productions are. We had a really good team on this one. But yeah, we planned a lot. Like I worked with the production designer Fabio Del Percio. He actually worked on Game of Thrones. He's very, very talented production designers. So we spent like a couple of months before the shoot, like on the designs we wanted, the sort of color palette, and so yeah, I mean, it's a lot of it was actually the pre-production. That was like probably 3 months in total, like with casting and everything. So yeah, I guess my approach to filmmaking is the more you do in pre-production, the smoother production goes, because you kind of like people know what they're doing, you know, even actors kind of know how I want their character to be. But obviously on set, like things change too. But yeah, it's a lot of prep work, I think.
Yeah, somebody once told me that if like filmmaking, so much of the filmmaking is in the prep work, and you have to, you basically all the decisions need to be made before you even put a foot on set. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, I would say most of them. I mean, like I mean, we did as much as we could. Like we did storyboards, we did shot lists, we like, you know, I worked a lot with the cinematographer on like the sort of shots I wanted, like close-ups, Dutch tilt angles for like to show characters like being powerful. So you put the camera underneath them looking upwards. But also on set, there were things that changed. Like I kind of sometimes said, oh, okay, this isn't going to work, like because we did something different the other day, so it won't match. So it's a bit of both. Like I would say it's mostly pre-production and prep, and then on set, like as long as there's a plan, you kind of have to work the plan. Like so things change, you know. So like sometimes like I don't think that would work, and then I tell the actor like let's do it differently. And
Well, where would you say the film, I guess, where's the film made? Is it is it in pre-production, filming, or post?
I would say it's all three. I mean, like I think what do they say? Like um there's three films you make. There's the one you write, the one you shoot, and the one you edit. So I think that's kind of like it's a lot of yeah. It's kind of I think all of it is like crucial, you know. And if one misstep, will like the film will suffer for it, you know.
Yeah. So you wrote and directed. So what inspired this story?
Um, I guess it was like a tribute to kind of those movies that I grew up on. Like, I mean, when I say grew up on, I probably got into horror like in my late teens, early 20s. I also love Korean horror films like The Wailing and I Saw the Devil. Those are two of my favorites.
Oh, I Saw the Devil, man.
Isn't it great?
Oh, that scene in the car. Oh my
Oh
God.
yeah.
Oh,
It's a brutal film. It pulls no punches, that movie.
no, it doesn't. So yeah, that's a pretty good inspiration. But the story in particular though, was it just I
That's
mean,
interesting.
how did it come about?
So like I guess like living in LA in the entertainment industry, I feel like there's a lot of I guess there's a facade with some people where like they're very good at pretending they're nice, like without actually being nice. It's kind of like all kind of a show sometimes. So I think this character, like Zara on the surface, is like this normal woman. She's like an actress, she's a housewife, she's like, you know, she has friends and stuff, but then she also like she has a really bad dark side and it comes out throughout the film. But I think it was always there to begin with. Like she was never really nice. She was always kind of this mean person, but tragedy makes her even worse, you know. So
So are monsters born or are they made?
I think it's a bit of both. Like I think there's psychologists have proven that I think some babies are born without a certain chemical or like the ability to have empathy. As a psychopath, but then also like society can change people, and I think that's kind of one of the themes of this film is that LA kind of changes people. Um, you know, it's a great city. There's a lot of fun to do, like screenings, the film industry, but there's a dark side to fame, and I think there's a lot of movies like Mulholland Drive or Sunset Boulevard that
Oh,
kind of tap into
two of my
those.
favorite films you just
Really,
rattled off. Two of them.
they're amazing. They're really
Oh,
good.
that's actually my favorite Lynch film.
Oh, really? Mulholland
Yeah,
Drive. It's a very good one.
yeah. It's yeah. The dark side of Hollywood has always been something that filmmakers have explored.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Even did you see The Elephant Man? That's one of my
Of
favorite Lynch
course,
films.
of
That's
course.
amazing.
Yeah, that was breathtaking. It was brilliant. Oscar for best makeup, right?
I think so. I think John Hurt missed out. I think he didn't. He was
Yeah,
nominated for Best
he was
Actor or Best
nominated.
Supporting.
Yeah,
Um, that's a
great.
brilliant film.
I love
Really,
I
really good.
not to digress too much, but I loved Lynch's ability to stay in the weird cerebral dream world, but then he could
Mhm.
also turn around and do Elephant Man or Straight Story.
He's very talented. A very
Yeah,
talented director.
just brilliant. Who are some of your favorite filmmakers that you draw inspiration from?
I would say Park Chan-wook is one of them, who did Old Boy.
Mhm.
I would say Christopher Nolan's another one. John Carpenter, definitely. He really is a genius. I mean, the fact that he like did the music for Halloween and like, you know, wrote, directed it, like he's a true visionary.
Mm.
I love Peter Jackson. I love the Lord of the Rings trilogy. It's amazing. Um, Quentin Tarantino, to a certain extent, I think he's really good. Um, yeah, I would say Christopher Nolan, maybe my Stanley Kubrick as well. I love The Shining. That's one of my favorite horror films too.
The Shining is brilliant, but I will confess, um, I still don't get 2001. I
Really,
I read the book, and so that filled in a lot of the stuff, but Kubrick is definitely an artist. I will say that.
he really is. Yeah, I think with 2001, I think there's so much interpretation, especially with the ending.
Yeah, yeah. The book spells it out a little bit more, so you kind of understand what's
Yeah,
happening. But yeah, that was definitely an interesting film.
I,
So filmmaking, okay, so it's not the easiest thing to do.
no, it's pretty hard.
Uh, why are you a filmmaker? Why is this important to do?
I think it really goes back to my childhood. I think as a kid, like I was always obsessed with films. Like I grew up in Spain for a few years, and I there was a local video store that I would go to and like rent out movies. And I think like even Star Wars, that was a huge inspiration for me as a kid. Like my dad took me to see The Phantom Menace, which gets maligned by a lot of fans, but I think the trilogy gets that prequel trilogy is unfairly criticized because the originals are so great. So yeah, I guess I just love movies like too much, you know, so much that I do this, even though it is difficult and challenging.
It's it's an obsession that you can't really shake. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
same here. So, um,
You must be a big horror fan as well. Like,
massive. But it's my favorite genre. But
really
I love cinema. Period. I love all of the
nice.
genres. And I just want to see a good film. And you know what? The other thing is that uh, to me the worst sin a movie can commit is being mediocre.
Hmm.
And the worst sin a filmmaker can make it or is wasting my time, like not
Hmm.
trying. Like I know that makes sound arrogant, but it's like I don't care if the film's bad. Just show me that you were trying something.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, at least take risks, right? Like, I think that's why a lot of people are cynical about studio films because they don't take as many risks, you know?
Yeah, there those are calculated risks.
Hmm.
But and that's why indie films, like the one that you just wrapped production on and are doing post on, to me, those are the interesting things. Those are the ones where people are really out there sacrificing things out in the trenches and just doing it. So
It's hard.
props
Did
to
you
you.
see Talk? Oh, thank you. Did you see Talk to Me?
I did. I did.
What do you think of that?
I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. And what fascinated me about that film was that the more the film went along, the more I didn't like the protagonist,
Hmm.
but I still wanted to watch. Like, it was one of the first movies to me where I became more and more angry with the person I was supposed to be rooting for, but I couldn't look away.
That was the girl, right? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wasn't a likable character. I agree with you.
Yeah, she kind of glommed on, to that family and then just made the worst decisions. And but you're like, where's this going? Um, but I think for me, it's not official yet, but my favorite horror film of the year is When Evil Lurks.
Oh, and I haven't seen that. Let me write that down.
Oh God, brace yourself. Brace yourself.
Really?
Whew. It's from Argentina, and it just is wow. It just I haven't been that shaken since Hereditary.
Wow, that's a
So
good film, Hereditary.
yeah. So I
I
was
love
like,
that movie.
yeah, same. So When Evil Lurks, it's on Shutter, and
Oh, nice.
yeah, just turn it on and just hold tight because woo,
Wow.
it was a good one. Um, But when do you expect Seductress from Hell to come out?
So we're hoping for like a festival circuit before distribution. So we're hoping like maybe next summer to kind of be the start of the festival circuit, and depends how distribution goes. Like we may do that before our initial plans. So yeah, I'm very excited. It's we have a really good team on this one. So
Yeah, it seems like it. It seems like, and are these people that you have, aside from the composer, are these people that you have worked with before?
there's a combination. I think there's a lot of people that were new. I think apart from Raj, I didn't work with any other actors before. And trying to think who else. Yeah, the composer, the cinematographer I've worked with, the focus puller I've worked with before. But no, it was definitely a lot of new people. Kind of actually, Alexi, who was one of the other producers, he was working at the production company I did my TV show at last year. So I worked with him before. So yeah, there's a few people I work with, but most are actually new.
Excellent. And what number film is this for you, feature?
This is my second feature.
Okay,
And
excellent.
I've done a lot of shorts as well.
Well, send them my way. I'd love to
Thank you.
see
Yeah.
them. And I guess I would end this with what can you tell the other indie filmmakers out there working right now? Any bit of advice, encouragement?
I would just say keep going. There's definitely hard days where you kind of feel down and you think, oh, what am I doing? But I just, I think if you really love cinema enough, there's a way to persevere, And I know that sounds very idealistic, but yeah, I guess just shoot films, I think films are a very good way to kind of not just entertain people, but make them think about life and, humanity and compassion and stuff like that.
Excellent. Well, uh, Andrew, it's been a pleasure speaking with you.
No,
And
thank you,
I'd
Norman. I
love for
appreciate
you
it.
to come back and
Absolutely.
share the film with us, and we can talk more about it.
Yeah, thank you. And did you see Evil Dead Rise?
I did.
I liked that. I thought it was pretty good.
Listen, I was totally entertained, but it didn't reach the level of mayhem that today's Evil Dead did. But that's how can you top that? I mean, like, but it was a fun movie.
That was the 2013 one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That was
that,
good too.
yeah. That was fun.
That
It
was
was
dark.
it was nice and brutal, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah. So watch When Evil Lurks,
Yeah,
and
I've written that down.
I'll email you the link to the IMDb. But totally fun. And then I've been told to watch that filmmaker's other film, Terrified.
Is it Terrified? Is that it?
Not Terrifier, Terrified.
Okay. I haven't seen Terrified.
Nor I. So, but I hear that one's great too. So with that, sir, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. No, thank you as well. I really appreciate it.
Let's keep in touch. Send me
Definitely.
stuff, and let's keep talking about Seductress from Hell.
Thank you, Norman. I appreciate it. Have a
All
great
right.
rest of your day.
Take care.
Thank you.